Today is July 18th, 2025, and today we are meeting Ur. Ur came through April 6th, 2022 at 3:28:17 p.m., roughly 6 days prior to the last being we met, who was Oriyah, who we'll take a quick look at here to refresh our memory. Ur came through a variety of times on a regular basis through a period of a year or two, beginning with the date we just stated and extending through even to current times. He just periodically will pop through. He's incredibly challenging to capture in that his eyes are just so small. It's one of his outstanding features or characteristics. Not many of the beings come through with eyes this small. Again, this does make him challenging to capture, but we're going to go ahead and show a few instances that he came through. We'll mirror them for you, so he's directed straight ahead at you, aside from the original transmission, which we'll go ahead and include mostly during this segment, the original orientation in which he came through. He comes through in a lot of light, in a lot of full spectrum hues, colors, and they predominate the frame as he's coming through. This is another thing that makes him incredibly challenging to capture. Now, there are some beings in his category that have this characteristic feature in their transmissions as well, and I believe these are beings that they exceed the galactic spectrum. We may be going into archetypes here, and this is something that we can clearly see in Ur's transmission, in that he's clearly coming through with the symbolism or as a representation of the bull. This is the most striking feature of his transmission each time he comes through to us. Clearly, very large bull horns. So something that comes to us in this transmission is information or a reminiscence or remembering of an entire epoch or era. So Taurus, the bull, this astrological era took place in roughly, and don't quote me, I think it was roughly 4000 to 1800 BC. Okay, so this is an important epoch. It's what our biblical stories have arisen up out of. It goes into what was then called Mesopotamia, which currently is in the area of modern-day Iraq. Okay, so information along this line is what is coming through to us in this transmission. It's what is attempting to get my and our attention as we gaze into the transmission and receive what data we can from it. Ur connects with immediacy, with almost direct immediacy to on. I'll go into this one more time. Unlike in our last segment where we're introducing, or one of our last segments where we're introducing Nyala and Maya being connected to Nyala, the feminine principle that sits at the top of our structure, forming the portal that is allowing many of the beings we're meeting here in this time frame to come through. Or connects near directly with On, who is the male principle sitting at the top of this pyramid or structure, helping to form this portal. And so the connection with On takes us back into not just Mesopotamia, but the creation of modern man. again, more information that comes through. We won't go into much detail on that because it is a large story just in itself. However, those of you who do know that this connects with the Anunnaki, which is a large transmission, a large spectrum of data which has come through to us, transmitted through to us via the mean of this crystal. As I've stated, I'm not sure yet if has a galactic representation or lifetime or life experience. I suspect highly that he does. And in the event one day I do again have the time to take myself more into these transmissions to gain more of this information, I certainly will. For now, he's bringing through multiple symbols, such as the particular epoch in which Taurus, the bull, was in our astrological alignment, and the energy most coming through to the planet that the peoples on the planet at that time were processing, learning, and growing from, graduating their consciousness out into the consciousness we see here on our planet today. He also represents this archetype, the archetype of the bull, which again, we won't go into in much detail here, but I suggest if you're going to be working with this transmission, gazing into the frame and allowing this particular symbol itself to impact your psyche, you can and will receive the data most important to you as you do so. Ur has also shown me in his coming through and the time frame of his coming through, and so I realize it is him who has brought this to me. He has shown via another transmission that has come through the crystal, myself living a lifetime in this particular time frame in Mesopotamia. So I was also involved, or am currently in that time frame, also involved in that epoch. In this transmission, I appear as a young Mesopotamian boy child who so closely resembles my own appearance in this life at that age that the connection to that could not have possibly been lost on me. So I appreciate him bringing this through to me. One of the ways in which I understand it was is that does present in this deep chocolate brown color, and the transmission that came through of myself in the Mesopotamian lifetime also came through in this hue. So or Taurus, or the bull, and all of that is very associated with that particular lifetime. Now, many of the beings we see that have transmitted to the crystal are representations of my own psychic networking, my own history of lifetimes through the eras on this planet and on others. However, this one is associated with the earth life, and so not many of them are. So I'll just briefly mention this here now. It's been brought up a few times this week, so before moving on, I'm going to mention here again that the beings that we're seeing here, that we're introducing to you now, are transmitting through this crystal. They're not digitally rendered. They're literally coming through my consciousness, combining with this crystal, working with the elemental realm therein. And in this combination, I'm thus sitting with the crystal in my hand and taking my cell phone camera into the crystal and beginning to look for patterns. I do this as I'm shifting my own brainwave frequency into other brainwave frequency patterns. And as I'm going into the crystal in this way, patterns that match my pattern will begin becoming visible to me. I then simply snapshot with the camera a picture of what it is that I'm seeing. I then bring these images onto my computer and study them in depth. I've been studying them in depth from 2017 to this day, and will continue likely through the rest of my life. It is a great body of work, and there's so much more work to do that I can't even imagine myself completing with it prior to me leaving this lifetime. However, I will do my best to bring through to you what I can, so that you too can experience your own connections and receive your own information from a level of beingness from out beyond where we are now, and begin to let that impact you in a similar way as to how it's impacting me. And that would be in a way that is allowing for a particular growth potential that does graduate us out from this level of reality. I'm going to go ahead and recede now. I think this is enough information for today with this transmission. And again, you can go into these transmissions yourself, connect with them yourself to receive your data. And as I receive now, I'm going to allow everyone in this collective moment the opportunity to do this. Okay, this is and we will be back again soon with the next being.